Hello everyone. Yes, I'm coming to you live. If you're watching the replay, I'm Corinne Crabtree from fitandfat.com. So you can go on over to pnp411.com and you can get my free course that I have developed for all of you to help you lose weight and get started on that process. We're going to talk today about the 6 keys that you need in order to lose weight. And all right, so I'm standing in my kitchen with the camera is on the windowsill because I have, sorry, I have notes. And so I've got them propped here. So when everybody's always like, oh my gosh, it must be like so fabulous to be one of those Facebook livers. It's like, oh my gosh, no, it's not. It is the most like rickety little system that ever was, but it's so much easier for me to be able to see my notes and do my thing when I use a window. So let me just give y'all a visual tour. This is the amazing set that I have here at PNP. All right, so what we're going to do today is I am going to go over these 6 keys. I'm going to talk to you about why they're so important. At the end, you guys can ask questions, so you can use #ask at the very end. Don't type your questions in just yet because there's going to be a lot of people talking throughout this entire Facebook Live. You guys will be sharing it in your groups. You'll be sharing it with your friends on your pages. Then you guys will start talking to each other and answering each other's questions and stuff, which is great. So feel free to chat amongst yourselves. But if you want me to see it, you're going to want to wait until the end for me to see your question. Otherwise, because it'll take me like 10 minutes to flip back up. All right, the 6 things. So I was thinking this morning about what did I want to talk about. And I really want to cover this because my tribe, all my PNP tribe members, you guys are getting your bonus course for March. Every month we do a deep dive and we do some really good work around different weight loss tools, weight loss concepts, how to just like get the weight off, all the things. And next month what we're doing is we're going really deep into just overeating. Like we're not going to talk about hunger scale. We're not going to talk about the foods we eat. We're not going to do any of that. We're really going to hone in on how do we solve overeating and how do you find it? How do you work on it and stuff? So I've been reading a bunch of books and coming up with our program. And in one of the things that I'm putting into your workbook, it's all about these 6 things that have to happen. And then the rest of the book kind of explains all of it and gives you new worksheets and stuff like that. So number 1, the very first thing we have to understand when we're losing weight and we're changing overeating, guys, is that the change has to be simple, but it will never be easy. So for all of you that follow me, you know that I teach the 4 basics. This is what my tribe gets, but it's not like a big fucking secret. I put it all out there for you in the podcast over at Losing 100 Pounds with Fit and Fat. The 4 basics are you have to drink your water. Like, get over it. Water's a part of the deal. If you don't want to be a water drinker, then just say, I'd like to stay overweight. This is amazing, because that's exactly what you're doing. You know from my podcast and you know from everything that I give you that water is just one of those things that you don't get to whine about. The next thing is sleep. Sleep has to become a priority. The body cannot burn fat unless it's actually getting its rest. That's when the magic happens. So if you're too busy Facebooking or keeping up with the latest shows, doing all this other stuff, then again, you need to say like, all right, I'm not getting enough sleep because I'm so busy over here. It's like, decide. If you want to lose weight, guys, you have to keep it simple. It's like, drink your water, get your sleep. For a lot of you, starting there is going to be super important because if you're dehydrated and tired, guess what the fuck happens all the time? Where's my Snicker bar to get me through in the afternoon because I'm hangry? It's like, no, you're fucking tired and dehydrated. Fix that shit first before you decide you've got an emotional eating problem. So then when we start actually getting into the food, the simple thing is we don't count calories and bullshit here. Everybody knows when they follow me, that's not what we do. You know what we do? We connect to our body. Am I hungry? Like every time before, like if you got a weight problem, the only question you should ever be asking yourself before you eat is, am I actually hungry? Like true physical hunger. I don't mean some bullshit, I'm tired, or bullshit, I'm stressed, or oh my God, I might miss out. What will they think if I don't eat it? That's all emotional shit. Guys, we'll cover that in your program this month. I'm going really deep on your belief systems and all in your irrational thoughts. But for all of you, the short of it is, if you just start asking the simple question before you put anything in your damn mouth is, am I hungry? If you're hungry, you should eat. Period. Your body is saying, I want you to reinforce you give a fuck about me. When I tell you I'm hungry, I mean it. This is part of this program, guys, but the main thing is that when you feed yourself, when you're actually truly physically hungry, you reinforce to your body that you're paying attention and that you care. That is huge. Most of you, what you do is when your body is hungry, you don't feed it and you're telling yourself, but I don't trust you. Like, I just think we're so broken, we can't do this. So I'm going to do some other kind of shit. Like, if you guys only ate when you were hungry, like truly hungry, you would never have to worry about it. Problem is, you ain't eating when you're hungry, you're eating when you're emotionally hungry. So when you ask yourself, am I hungry? If the answer is no, then you get to do the hard part. So the steps are simple, the process is not easy. The not easy part is not eating when you just want it and sitting with it and asking yourself, like, I know this food would taste good and stuff, but why do I really want it? Because I feel entitled. Because so many times I set myself up on a diet to just like forget everything. So make sure that you understand the 4 basics. The other basic that I teach besides water, sleep, and eating when you're hungry and stopping, you just stop when you're satisfied, is you got to write some shit down. Like, guys, it's all about, are you going to like plan your food ahead of time or not? Are you going to write about what you're thinking or not? That's the main thing. It's like, if you get to the point to where you will quit relying on yourself to just decide in the moment to be healthy and you plan ahead to be healthy, it makes such a big difference. If you're like Amy says, agreed, my biggest struggle of the 4 is going to be writing it down ahead of time. Guys, ask yourself seriously, what is the fucking problem with that? Y'all make it so damn complicated. It's 2 minutes of your damn life. I don't give a shit if you follow it. I want you to get into the habit of actually writing it down, thinking ahead, and challenging yourself to commit to something. Most of you, what you do is like, well, I might not feel like it, and blah, blah, blah. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shit all over even committing to myself. Let's just like not trust myself now ahead of time. That's even better. Those are patterns that we cannot you cannot afford to start and reinforce when you're trying to lose weight. So change is simple, but not easy. Number 2, change is incremental. The reason why I keep the 4 basics simple is because you cannot do this all overnight. Everybody wants to just be like, okay, give me everything I should do to overhaul my life. And we wonder why we fucking freak out. Your brain is not designed like for anything. It's not designed for anything to be changed on a dime overnight. Your brain is designed to keep things the same. So when you're trying to lose weight, one of the best tips I have for you is to do it like I did. Now, I lost 100 pounds, so I fucking know what I'm talking about. And the thing is that you want to find the small places in which you can start making changes. As my tribe knows, we always call it leveling up. What are the very small things that I can make a change to where I don't freak myself out, that I'm taking everything away, that I'm punishing myself, blah, 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 that I can build upon from day to day. So like when I got started, like I knew I couldn't give up my food yet, but I could start with 15-minute walks. That lasted for a little bit. And then I was like, okay, well, I really want to try changing my food. So I just started tweaking little things. Y'all, I ate ice cream for the longest time, every day, twice on Sunday, because I was not ready to give it up. But as I started like making small changes and noticing that it wasn't as hard as I had always thought it was, when I dropped a lot of my punitive thinking and traded it in for like, oh, we're doing so good. Look, like for 3 solid weeks we've been walking. And I start doing that work. it was a lot easier for me to want to change more things. But it was the small incremental changes that built up over time. What most of us do is we go out like a crazy person and we change it all. And then we wonder why in 3 weeks we're tapped. We're just spent. We've changed way too much and we've learned nothing. We've just learned how to be really strict and punitive with ourselves. That's all we've really learned. What we haven't learned, though, is how to be there for ourselves, how to talk to ourselves, how to encourage ourselves, how to look for opportunities to do a little bit better. That's the real skills of weight loss. Don't let anybody fool you. Number 3, it's slow. Guys, seriously, weight loss isn't fast. If it's fast, you're probably doing it wrong. I'm just going to tell you right now. And the sooner you decide that you're willing to let it be slow, the sooner you'll actually get there. So like it took me 18 months to lose 100 pounds. But the difference between my 100-pound weight loss and then all the times that I lost, oh my God, like I can't even tell you how many times I probably lost 50 to 75 pounds. And I would lose it fast. Like in 4 months, I would lose like 75 pounds. Then every time I would, what I never did learn was how to like myself through the process, how to enjoy myself through the process. Like I would lose weight and I would enjoy the weight loss, but I hated what I was doing. I couldn't stand the process. And then I wondered why the moment that I felt really good about things and stuff, I wanted relief from what I hated. I'm like, oh, well, I feel good in my body. I'll just have a little. I'll just have a little. And because I'd never learned how to have any balance in what I was doing, every single time I would have a little and I'd gain weight, my brain would freak out and it would just slowly backslide. You have to, the reason why I encourage you guys to take it slow is because all of my girls that have lost, especially my girls that are like at the 50-pound plus mark, which if you guys are in here, will you post your weight loss? They will tell you they've not been losing it way fast. They've been losing it enjoyably, and they've also been losing it and not gaining it back. Like, this is the thing. When you are going to go slow, you're probably going to freak out and not like that part. But what you can tell yourself every single time is like, but every pound I say goodbye to is the last damn pound I have to see it again. It's just gone because I'm really figuring out how to do it for the last time this time. Guys, nobody loves weight loss so much that they're just like, oh, I just want to do this over and over again. I just want to like lose a lot of weight, gain some weight so I could try a new way. No, it sucks. We don't want to have to do it over and over again. All right. See, there's some of my girls are in here. 50 pounds since May of 2018. All right. Number 4, all weight loss, all ending overeating comes with discomfort. I know that's not going to be a shock to most of you, but you have to understand this part. You are not going to you're not going to take away the food that you eat when you aren't hungry and love it. There is going to be no thought that I will ever be able to give you that on a day when your kids are acting like assholes, your boss yelled at you that day, and you didn't get enough sleep the night before, that in the drive-thru, you're not going to want to order a Big Mac. Weight loss comes with discomfort. The problem that I see most of you do is you set yourself up with extreme diets first, and then you're suffering extreme discomfort. Rather than do like I said in step 1, you keep the process simple. The uncomfortable part is asking yourself before you eat, am I hungry? And if you're not truly hungry, then you question why you're eating. That's hard enough. You don't need to be hangry and starving and punitive to lose weight. The discomfort comes in the normal shit. Like for a lot of my girls, part of the discomfort is I overate and I am not going to beat myself up over it. I know that sounds crazy. So many of us are so conditioned that every time we overeat, we are supposed to bitch slap ourselves into reality. We call ourselves names. We say terrible things to ourselves. And we think that is what we have to do in order to lose weight. It's like, no. You know what the uncomfortable part will be? When you're like one of my tribe members and I teach you like, no, we don't do that shit. We're going to bypass all the beat downs because the beat downs are just going to make you want to eat even more. They make you feel helpless and hopeless. No one loses weight from an extreme case of helpless and hopelessness. You have to be willing to learn. So when you overeat, the hardest part, and tribe members, y'all tell me if this is not true. The hardest part of dealing with an overeat is not beating yourself up and doing a worksheet on what happened, processing it, being very aware, making a plan for next time. That's the hard part. That's the uncomfortable part. But what we do is we do what we're comfortable with, which is beat downs. We get so used to them that we don't even realize that that is one of the keys that we're doing over and over again that's stopping our weight loss. All right, so you got to have your discomfort. The next thing is, let's go all the way in order. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's incremental, which means it's small little changes that build up over time because you get better and better and better at it. It's slow. Let me tell you another reason why it's slow. This was such a good example I read in a book. I want you guys to think about like a big old sand pile, right? And we have a marble at the top. And every day, and that marble is going to represent your eating patterns. And every day at 4 o'clock, you stand in the pantry and you go to town because you're stressed out. And you slide the marble down one side of the sand pile. Every single day, there's a groove. At first, it's kind of hard to do it. And then after a while, it's just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's why like it can feel like it's like it just happens when you overeat at 4 o'clock every afternoon standing in your pantry. Well, then here comes Corinne and we're going to do like a different thing at 4 o'clock, which means we're not going to eat in the pantry because we're not hungry. We're emotionally exhausted. We're dreading the evening. There's a lot of things going on, but we're going to be tipping the marble the other way. It's going to be hard. It's going to have discomfort. You're going to have to really shove the marble to get it to slide down some sand that's never been grooved. But what happens, so it's slow. And you have to keep doing it that way. Otherwise, what the marble wants to do is it wants to go down the path that it already, like when it's sitting at top, that groove, it's like pulling it in. So sometimes it will go back down and it will eat chips in the pantry. And then some days it will go down the new side with you pushing it and it being like, okay, I got to get it down. I got to get it down. Eventually they level out. The reason why the process is slow is because sometimes you're carving a new groove and sometimes you're just reinforcing the old one. Until they catch up to where it's like, okay, I have gotten so good at going to my pantry and standing there and thinking about it and being aware of what I'm doing and asking myself the question, now I'm catching momentum on the other side. And eventually what happens is that this groove becomes deeper. The marble quits wanting to tilt the other way. It has no interest in going the other way because you've taught it over time. No scary shit is going to happen if you don't go into the pantry. Your world won't end if you don't go into the pantry. You can tolerate being bored. You can tolerate decompressing in a new way. Like all those feelings you were scared of, all those feelings you used to avoid. It's like, oh, you know, after about 3 months of not eating in the pantry, I finally realized I can handle my business at 4 o'clock without a bag of chips. That's when it happens, but it takes a while. That's why it's like, it's a lot of it, it's discomfort. That's why it's so slow. It's not going to happen overnight, but it relies on you on number 5, which is certain traits that all of us who are going to lose weight have to have. One of them is commitment. You have to be committed to the process. And that doesn't mean the process of losing the weight, like committed to seeing results. You're committed to all of it. which means you're committed to showing up for yourself after an overeat. You're committed to no more verbal beatdowns. You're committed to stopping them when they happen. You're committed to some weeks the scale doesn't move. Like, you're committed to the parts that suck butt. And you're committed to the fun stuff too. So commitment has to be a big one. It means you just don't quit anymore, which is number 6. You keep going no matter what. You don't use anything that happens against yourself anymore. You don't use what your husband says or doesn't say about your weight loss against yourself anymore. You don't use the scale against yourself anymore. You don't use your mistakes against yourself anymore. You're also, one of the other personality traits you have to have is not just commitment, but persistence. You have to be persistent. It's not just like, I'm committed to doing this. It's like, I am persistent. Like, I am a nag. I'm going to nag the fuck out of myself to make sure that I'm doing the little things that I need to be doing. Like, I will be persistent as hell with my 24-hour plan. Even when my brain tells me it's too hard, I don't have time. It's a waste of time. I'll never commit to it anyway. I don't care what your bullshit excuse is. Quit using your bullshit excuses against yourself. I say this all the time. Just because you fucking think something doesn't mean it's true. At all. It just means you thought it. So quit believing it and quit acting on it and quit following. Like, if you got broken thoughts, quit acting on them. It's your choice. The other thing is you have to be curious. Curious always replaces shame and judgment. You are going to want to go through this process, and you are going to want it to be perfect, and it will not be. You didn't get here because everything works so well. You got here because you got some problems. Either you don't know when you're full, you emotionally eat. There's always something, right? The only way you're going to get out of this is if you are very curious about what are the things that you're eating about. And then working on that stuff rather than eating over it. And guys, working on that stuff is not near as scary and hard as you guys want to make it out to be. The main reason why you guys think that working on that stuff is going to be so hard is because you think you have to be on a deprivation diet in order to work on it. You do not need to be on a deprivation diet. Not a single person does. I got girls in the tribe. I got this one girl in the tribe who she's part of the Hot Mess Express. I keep using her as an example. She literally has, I forget, I wish she was here. If you're here, will you, if one of the Hot Mess Express is here, tell me how much she's lost. It's your tribe leader, your Hot Mess Express leader. She's lost like probably 50 pounds or something like that. And she eats chocolate cake every damn day. Every day. She puts it on her plan. Because she decided that in order to lose weight, what she wanted to do was set it up in a way she could live the rest of her life. And the rest of her life, she'd like to eat chocolate cake every single day. Because she started doing that, she doesn't need a lot. She's got her own back. She doesn't have to go face down in it. She started showing herself as like, yeah, we actually can plan this and just have a piece and fucking enjoy it and move on with our day and our life. It doesn't have to be a shame cycle. I don't have to judge myself. I don't have to think I'm slowing down my weight loss. I don't have to do any of that. You know what I get to do? I get to think I'm going to lose weight eating a small piece of cake every day because I like it. That's what weight loss is all about, y'all. It's about these 6 things. Tribe, you're going to get the blowed out version where I'm redoing worksheets. I think the workbook is now at over 20 pages. I'm just saying, and I don't have it all done. I will have it done today though. But it's going to be great. It's going to be really great. It's going to be great for all of you. And I really want my tribe members to make sure you take it seriously this month. Because all of you keep telling me, like, this overeating thing, I want to solve it. We're going to solve it, but it's not going to be overnight. It just isn't. Guys, I'm 14 years in. I've lost 100 pounds 14 years ago. I still have overeats. I had one this week. The difference between me and you is I don't beat myself up over it. I know this is all a process, and I believe in myself. You know what I believe in? I'm not going to quit. Ever. There's never going to be a day that I'm going to shame myself so much that I quit doing what I love, which is I love being healthy. I love having my own back. I love that I've changed the conversation that I have with myself on a daily basis. It's the most important one you ever have. It's like, you know why I don't give a shit what everybody else has to say? Because their sentences are like less than 1% of what really goes on in my brain. My brain is always running, so is yours. If you want to work on any conversations, like if you're like, I need so-and-so to talk to me different, like I need all these people to start talking to me different, bullshit. If you talk to yourself like the queen you are, you will not care what they have to think, because this right here is the main show all the time. And when this is strong, the rest of it is like fine. And that takes time. I wrote an email this week, it was an Instagram post. I think you can find it on Instagram. If you follow me, it's Fit and Fat, PHITNPHAT. And I may have posted it on my Facebook page where it talked about how I have spent years working on the conversation I have with myself. It's the most important conversation you'll ever have in your life, is the one that you have every single day, every single minute of your life. When that conversation's worked on and leveled up, your world changes. And it took me years. I still have shady comments. You know what the difference is now? I don't believe them. I don't believe them any more than I would believe some rank stranger coming over and telling me like, well, you're a bitch. I'd be like, yeah, lots of people think that. Noted. Thank God you ain't got to live with me. I mean, when you're strong in who you are, you've solved your own problems. All right, hashtag ask. If you have a question, now is the time. Let me take a drink out of I got a good heart, but this mouth cup. I know when a lot of people are new to me, they're like, why you cuss so much? Just part of me. If you don't like it, you have to leave, because it's another part of me that's never changing. And like people will ask me, it's so funny because my mom is actually on this Facebook Live. She loves to tune in each week because she gets to see me, right? They'll ask me like, do you talk to your mother like that? I'm like, yeah. It's like, where do you think I got half this mouth from? All right, I'm 20 pounds away from maintenance, and it's getting harder and harder to lose weight as you get smaller. Advice. It feels harder. It's not harder, Jennifer. You're just going to need to look for areas you can level up, or you have to be more patient. But it's not actually harder. You're losing, like, guys, you never recognize this. It's like people will say, like, oh, I was losing 2 pounds and stuff when you had like 100. But if you take the percentage of your current weight, you're probably losing at about the same pace. You can't compare numbers to numbers because you're a different percentage of how much weight you have to lose. So sitting around thinking it's harder and stuff, that's just going to make the experience more miserable. I would much rather you focus on, am I in it to win it for 20 pounds? If I am, then I'm just going to be sitting around and asking myself, what can I be doing today to make this easier? How can I enjoy it today? Is there anything that, because sometimes what happens is when we're at the tail end, we grab ass a little more, like we find little margins and we're like, oh, I'm a little bit sloppy there. I need to tighten back up. I'm not doing it as cleanly as I was like 50 pounds ago. So look at it that way. How much water do you suggest? Until your urine runs pale yellow. So just drink water until you have pale yellow urine. Building on your idea of living into the identity you want, in your case, an athlete, what does a woman in control of her food look like? What's her first step? I don't know. What is it, Liz? I'm going to tell you, one of the first steps that I had was someone who is in control of their food life didn't put pressure on themselves to eat perfect. People who are like normal eaters, who are like, all right, this is just me. I just eat healthy, and sometimes I overeat, and sometimes like I'll have a burger, whatever it is. It's not like a bunch of bullshit thoughts compounded on it. And nobody's food ever looks the same. If you're a woman in control of your food, what does that look like? It probably looks like someone who wakes up each day and makes a plan, is very comfortable with it, likes the foods that are on there, enjoys it. Somebody who, like, I read this in a book that I was reading the other day. It said, normal people, the reason why, let's see, let me see if I can find my note. It's actually in here. Can't remember where I put it. But basically, it was like the definition of a normal eater is someone who, like, they just, like, there's no good or bad choices. They just, where is that? It's going to, like, drive me crazy now. Crap. Hang on. See, I can't stand it when Mama gets a question and she's like, oh, saying yes or no to food is no big deal. Like, it's not the end of the world. Someone who's in control of their food, they just eat when they're hungry. They don't think that, oh my God, I'm probably going to open the floodgates or whatever. They include shit they like on their plan. What else? Oh, they eat with awareness and enjoyment. Like, people who are in control of their food aren't scrolling Facebook or eating in front of the TV. Like, they're not, like, doing bullshit. Like, they're actually enjoying their food. Oops. All right, I don't know what just happened, but on my comment, like, my comments went berserk, so I'm probably going to miss some people. I just found your Pinterest, and I love it. Would you be able or willing to post your favorite books there? I don't do it on Pinterest, Taylor, but you can go to kitcom/fitandfat, PHITNPHAT. If you go there, I don't know what Facebook is doing, but all the comments are going away all at once. But if you go there, you can see where all my favorite books are. When will the tribe open up? I think it's either going to be end of March or early April. We are up in the air when it's going to open right now because I'm moving. So I have to kind of plan it around when we're actually going to be able to move into our house. Can you do a podcast on people who are at goal? Well, I can, but I need to know what you need to know. Like, guys, here's my whole podcast on people who are at goal. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Like, I've been at goal for 14 years. Guess what I do? I make plans every day. I do the things that got me here. I don't add foods back in. Like, if I want to have a treat, guess what I do? I plan it. Guys, I don't know what is going on, but these comments are going berserk. So that's really all that maintenance is. It's the same mind management. Angela, I know you. Guess what? You still need to do your fucking TDLs and journal. You're not getting out of it. Guys, quit thinking that when you hit maintenance that you're getting out of being healthy. Like, I teach you guys to lose weight the way you're going to live it. Guess what happens when you hit goal weight? Welcome to living. So whatever you did to get there, welcome to living. That's why you can't do bullshit and expect yourself to keep the weight off when you hit goal. If you didn't learn how to live, then you didn't learn how to lose it the way you will live it. You learned how to punish yourself, deprive, restrict, willpower, white knuckle yourself. You learned how to do a bunch of bullshit to get there. Whatever you do on the way down is who you are going to be. So you better freaking like that version of you. You better clean up your mind. You better be, when you're losing weight, you better do like my girls do. You got to learn that self-talk. Because just because the scale number is low, if you don't like yourself, you are left with yourself in a smaller body. That's all you got. So unless you're going to stand on the scale all day long and look at your pant size all day long, you're left with everything of the bullshit you say to yourself. Just you and that person. All right, a lot of the comments are going away. I'm so sorry, guys. Facebook is like, got to fix some of their stuff. What does a 24-hour plan look like? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Then eat when hungry? Yep, that's it. That's it, Angie. Like, it's no more complicated than that. We all want to make it more complicated, like, But like, where do I do the macros? And where do I where's the list of foods I can't have? And where's the punitive part of weight loss? There's no punitive part of weight loss. Now, there's diets that trade in that bullshit. I don't. But what I would do is I would make sure that you go to my podcast and binge listen. If you're going to binge on something today, binge over there. It's losing 100 pounds with Fit and Fat. You guys, quit complicating it. Nobody